3 years ago, at a product launch, I punched my ex-wife Victoria's boyfriend Blake so hard I made him deaf in one ear. I got arrested. Victoria filed for divorce the next morning. While I was sitting in a jail cell, I found out she'd married him. My friends knew how possessive I was. They figured the second I got out, I'd go after Victoria. Instead, I vanished. Until someone called my name at a packed tourist spot. "How many skewers you want?" I asked, keeping it professional. "You want extra spice?" Victoria's eyes filled with tears. You forgot I don't eat spicy food?" I kept my voice flat. "Sorry. We get hundreds of customers a night. Better to ask than guess." For a second, the only sound was her sharp breath, then people shuffling impatiently behind her. "Hey, you ordering or what? This is that TikTok spot. Order up or step aside." Victoria stared at me for a long time, pain in her eyes, before she finally looked down and ordered a few skewers. No spice. I gave her a polite smile. 7 to 10 minutes. "Wait over there, please." Then I turned back to the grill, focused on my work. Every move was quick and smooth. Victoria stared at my cracked, rough hands, then suddenly grabbed the skewer right out of them. "Alex, stop this." I snatched it back, frowning. "Ma'am, please don't mess with my work. There's a line." The guy behind her sounded ticked off. "Lady, are you crazy? You're keeping the guy from making money. You want him to starve?" Victoria looked like she'd been slapped. "What do you people know? Alex is totally wasting his talent here. You wouldn't understand what he's capable of." The customers looked at me, amused. "What, old girlfriend? Hey, I had big dreams once too. Now I drive a cab every day. Same. I wanted to be a billionaire. Now I'm drowning in debt." Victoria looked at them like they were morons. Disgust all over her face. "You people just don't get it." She turned back to me, eyes bright with intensity. "Alex, I know you don't really want this. The code you wrote, the programs you built, they were genius. You could make millions overnight if you wanted. Why are you throwing it all away?" Before I could answer, her eyes went red with guilt. "Is it because of me? I know what happened hit you hard, but I never thought you'd give up like this. End up like..." Her eyes were full of pity, like I was doing something shameful. I stayed calm. "Ma'am, if you don't want the food, I can cancel your order. Please don't hold up my business." Victoria froze, shocked and hurt. She sat back down, tears spilling over. "Who said I don't want it? I'm eating." I turned back and finished up the skewers. Victoria ate while crying, glancing at me over and over, hoping I'd comfort her like I used to, but I just frowned a little and refilled her napkins. "Ma'am, if you need help, there's a police station about 500 yards that way." That finally broke her. She covered her face and ran off. I didn't see her again until I was about to close up. She stepped out of the shadows where she'd been hiding. "How long have you been doing this?" She pulled out a stack of cash and put it in front of me. "I'm here on vacation. Spend 2 hours showing me around, and you'll make more than you do at this stall." I looked at the thick stack of bills. 3, maybe 4,000. Enough for the doll Lily had been begging for. The skewers were sold out. Only an idiot would turn down easy money. "Sure, I know this place like the back of my hand." I smiled, took the cash. "No shame." Victoria's voice shook. You never used to care about money like this. Small money. Remember that time? Some rich kid offered you $500,000 just to have a drink with him? You smashed $1 million bottle of cognac over his head. It cost us a deal worth 10 times that. She looked at my greasy cheap t-shirt, her face unreadable. "Your skin's sensitive. You couldn't wear cheap polyester. You only wore custom wool suits. Even your socks cost more than your whole setup here." She couldn't wrap her head around how the flashy, big spending guy she knew had changed so much. I didn't say anything, just smiled and pointed to a building on the distant cliff, like a castle in the clouds. "That building, right on the cliff, it's a famous landmark around here." I gave her the tour guide spiel, then asked, "Ever been up there?" Victoria had been watching me the whole time. She shook her head, dazed. "Go check it out. Once you see how big the world is from up there, you'll get it." I used to think I could never let go of Victoria. Now, looking back, that seems ridiculous. Victoria met my eyes totally honest, no love in them, and felt a sting in her heart. Okay, on the way up, I played the perfect tour guide, telling her about the local history and culture. When we passed other vendors, I'd wave and say hi. "Alex, moonlighting as a guide again? Young guys sure got energy, working late showing tourists around for extra cash." Victoria looked at my thin frame and asked quietly, "Do you do this a lot?" I answered honestly, "Sometimes, but none of them tip as well as you." I flashed a big, real smile. That's when Victoria finally realized I was actually happy about this little bit of money I would have ignored before. I wasn't trying to make a point. "Alex, don't do this." She suddenly grabbed my hand, her voice serious. "Even if we're divorced, I don't want to see you fall apart. You're not just anyone. Even after prison, you could still bounce back." She pulled out her phone and typed in a bank account number. I was always scared to reach out. "I thought you were doing fine, but I never expected. This is what I owe you. Take it and start over." Without hesitating, she typed in the amount, 5 million. I just watched her, silent. She thought I was accepting it. Then her phone flashed a notification. "Recipient's account closed." She froze. "Alex, do you hate me?" She looked up at me, tears in her eyes. "This was the account you opened when you proposed. The number was my birthday and lucky numbers. You said you'd keep it forever, that every time you spent money, you were saving up happiness for me. You don't want me to be happy anymore?" I calmly looked past her. "Your happiness is right there." Victoria paused, then slowly turned around. Blake stood a few feet away, holding out his hand. "Honey, I've been waiting for you up here." He pulled out his phone. "I texted you hours ago to meet at the top. Didn't expect you to take so long. I was worried something happened." Victoria stared at me blankly, my words echoing in her head. So short, so cold. When she didn't move, Blake walked over and took her hand, then whispered in her ear, "Who's this?" I looked a little more worn than 3 years ago, but basically the same. Blake pretended not to recognize me anyway. Victoria stiffly introduced me. This is Alex. Blake gasped dramatically, covering his mouth. Oh my god, Alex, what happened to you? You look rough. He looked at my faded t-shirt with disgust. Did I? Alex, seriously, if you can't afford the real thing, do you have to try that hard, wearing such an obvious knockoff? It's just sad. Then he acted like he said the wrong thing and hid behind Victoria, playing scared. Sorry, I'm just blunt. I didn't mean anything by it. Please don't hit me again. Victoria spent millions getting me a cochlear implant. Blake's eyes were full of challenge, but I didn't react. Victoria always thought Blake's bluntness was a good thing, but now it just sounded ugly. Blake, enough. Blake rolled his eyes at me, then whined to Victoria. Okay, wifey, my bad. I spoke without thinking. But Alex really has changed a lot in 3 years. I was just shocked. Blake pulled out a premium black card. I heard Victoria wants to help you, but your bank account must have been frozen 3 years ago, right? This card has 5 million on it. Should be enough to live on for the rest of your life. I reached out to push the card back, but Blake smirked and let go. The card fell into the mud. Blake looked at me apologetically. Oops, Butterfingers. I remember you were a germaphobe, but I guess after selling BBQ for so long you're over that, huh? I heard street food stalls are usually pretty gross. You don't mind selling this stuff for money. Gotta give you credit for toughening up. The customers nearby, holding their skewers, all looked grossed out, second-guessing their food. My eyes went hard, locked on him. Victoria thought I was about to hit Blake and nervously stepped in front of him. I picked up the muddy card and tossed it at Blake's chest. Every ingredient here passes inspection, I said, voice calm and steady. If you've got proof otherwise, go ahead and report it. That seemed to flip a switch. Customers stepped up to defend me. The lamb and beef here are fresh cut and skewered by the owner every morning. We all saw it. He even live streams everything, buying the meat at the market, marinating it. Everything's clean, nothing unsanitary about it. Blake tried to say something, but Victoria, looking pissed, pulled him back. Blake, that's enough. Blake reluctantly shut up. Victoria looked at my cold eyes, and her fingers slowly clenched. I'm sorry for bothering you today. It won't happen again. You've really changed. 3 years ago, Victoria promised that after the product launch, she'd announce our marriage to the media. But when I came out after changing, I saw Victoria walk onto the stage with Blake. She not only called him a tech genius, but also blushed and looked away when reporters asked about her love life, letting everyone assume they were together. I wanted to hold in my anger and confront her after the press conference, but then an intimate photo of Victoria popped up on my phone. The guy in it was Blake. On stage, he smirked at me, like I'd already lost. Back then, I was young and hot-headed. I couldn't let anyone disrespect me. I stormed onto the stage and beat Blake's face in. Victoria remembered that moment too. She gave me a bitter, slightly scared smile. If you'd been as calm back then as you are now, maybe we wouldn't have ended up like this. The second she said that, Blake's face went white. I stayed quiet, mentally checking how much time I had left. Her eyes lingered on me, complicated, then she sighed. Blake was out of line just now. I apologized for him. She took the card from Blake, wiped it clean carefully, and handed it to me. Please take it. I'll feel awful if you don't. Blake's eyes were burning with anger, but he kept playing nice. I looked at Victoria calmly, then stepped back. Since your husband's here, I won't keep you. I don't need this money. I pulled out a few bills from what Victoria had paid me earlier. I was supposed to be your guide for 2 hours. It's 30 minutes short, so I'm giving you a quarter back. I pressed the money into Victoria's hand and turned to leave. Alex, she yelled after me. Can't you just give a little? 3 years ago, just because Blake went on stage before you to introduce himself, you beat him deaf and wouldn't apologize. And now, because of your pride, you're turning down my help. Don't you see you're only hurting yourself? Didn't you say you wanted to build something? Make something of yourself? Look at you now. Your mom's dying wish was to see you settle down with a family. Did you forget? Seeing my expression shift, Victoria pushed harder. Take it. Live a decent life. Find a wife. Have a kid. Think of it as my way of making things right. Just as she was about to shove the card into my hand, a little girl ran into my arms. Daddy, why aren't you home yet? Mommy and I were so worried. I broke into a huge smile, hugged my